Hello, my name is Jamie and I'm here to talk about some study abroad tips and tricks, basically more information about the study abroad journey. For a little bit of information about myself, I started my study abroad journey last year, so August 2022, and I'm on the year program, and next week is my last week as a study abroad student. So I just want to share you guys what information, like some tips that I wished I would have known if I were in my past self and stuff like that. So so I have a list of things I want to talk about. So I have that. So the application process, before your study abroad journey, it takes about a year for the whole process to finish. So the process differs from each university, and I'm a student from Arizona State University, so ASU. So I guess it's just a little bit different, but then I feel like the amount of time it takes, the process is basically a year of like talking to your counselor, talking to your academic advisor of what classes you need to take, and if you're able to study abroad with your credits and what year you're in. So it really depends on those criteria, but the application itself is pretty easy. It's just whether you're accepted to your home university and to Yonsei, and then yeah, so there's that. And then the D2 student visa process. So I am from Arizona, so I had to go to the LA Korean embassy and make sure to check your specific consulate instructions, because I heard that the LA and San Francisco one is very different. That the LA one, you can mail your documents in and then you can get your visa like that, but I heard that San Francisco you can't do that. I don't know if it changed. The last time I heard about it was last year. So just double check the consulate's websites and then call them. Emailing them will take a longer time. Like one time I emailed the consulate and then they got back to me a week later. So if you want faster information, I recommend calling them, but call them right when they're open, like at 9 a.m. And then even if you do call 9 a.m., you still have like a long wait time, like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but still that is much better than calling them in the middle of the day and then them not getting back to you within 2 hours or something. So, and then so there's 2 documents that you would need. So all the other visa process, so the documents you need for the visa is the completed visa document, the passport picture taken within 6 months, so the 35 by 45 millimeters picture, a bank statement depending on how long you're staying. So for me, because I'm staying here for 1 year, I need to provide a $10,000 bank statement saying that, oh, you could basically, you can live with that money. And then of course the visa fee. I think for me the visa fee was $45. I'm not really sure, but yeah. And then from my experience, the two other documents you would need is from the Yonsei. You'll get them from the Yonsei email. It's a certificate of admission and certificate of business registration. And from my experience, I got them a month before I was supposed to leave, like literally a month. And another thing is that, especially Yonsei, they're really like, they don't send out things really early in advance. They like to send them like a month before the due date, basically. So I find that really frustrating that they don't send it out as quickly as they can. They're just waiting. And then when you get that email, you're like, you're on a time crunch. So just keep in mind with that. And then my experience, I am Korean American, so I have a stressful experience with my visa. So when I applied for my visa thing, I mailed it in and then they got my visa documents. But the thing is, they searched up my name and my parents' information, and apparently I'm technically Korean citizen. a Korean citizen, even though I don't have a passport with me. My parents didn't even know. But apparently because my mom has Korean citizenship, when I was born, it automatically means that I'm dual citizen with Korea. So they didn't accept my student visa because I have to fly into Korea with my Korean passport. But like I said before, I don't have a Korean passport. The Korean government doesn't even know I'm alive, basically. But then they said that because of my mom's like citizenship paper, and when she was like, she's technically was a citizen when I was born. So I automatically get it from my parents, and it's a Korean government law. So I had to fly to the LA embassy, and I have to put in my name onto the family registration paper. And then once you do that, you don't get your passport immediately. They have to register it, and you have to wait 2 weeks later until you're able to do stuff. You can't do anything unless you put your name onto the family registration paper. So I was having trouble with that, and then I had to fly back to LA again to get my emergency passport. So I couldn't get my regular passport because that takes a lot longer, and I had a week or two left until I have to leave on a plane ride to go to Korea. So I can only do an emergency passport. An emergency passport takes a day for it to process, and they give it to you. And from that emergency passport, you can only use it once. So you can only use it once when you enter Korea, and you can't use it as a verification. Like, you know, your passport is like it's a legal documentation of your identity. I can't use that for like that. So I have to when I arrive here in Korea, I have to get a Korean resident card, which has my basically like a social security number on the like a little ID card, and then from that I can apply for an actual passport, an actual Korean passport. So that is information that I did not get when I was researching my study abroad. So for you Korean American people out there who want to study abroad in Korea, make sure to call the embassy and see if you can get like a passport, or just do more and more research. Yeah, I didn't know about it, and I was stressing out. Like literally, I had a month left until I had to leave, and then my visa got like declined. So I was just stressing out. My parents were stressing out too, because we don't live in LA. We live a different state, so that was just difficult in itself. So just beware people who have Korean parents, or if you know they have Korean citizenship when you were born, just do a lot of research. So now I'm going to move on to how to get to the Yonsei Dorms. So there's 3 ways to get to the dorms from the airport. You can take the 6011 bus, you could take the airport subway, or you could take the taxi. So the 6011 bus, it costs 15,000 won to get there, but I totally recommend that if you're going from the airport to the dorms. It's literally like the bus stop gets you right there to the dorms, and then you walk for 8 minutes, and then you're right there at the dorms. So it was really quick and simple. I definitely recommend that if you're living in the dorms from the airport and you're going straight to the dorms from the airport. Another one is the airport subway. That is my second recommendation. I totally don't recommend it if you have like a bunch of big suitcases, because there's a lot of stairs. So yeah, so I would recommend the airport subway if you're living in if you live in an Airbnb in one of the subway stops. And so like I said before, a subway stop that's close to Sinchon is Hongdae. So if you have an Airbnb in Hongdae, then I would definitely recommend the airport subway, because it's just like 8+ stops from the airport, and it gets you straight to the Hongdae station. And then this is a more expensive option, but you could take a taxi from the airport to the dorms, or to the place you're living at. This is an estimate, but this is around 60,000 to 80,000 won, so around 50 to 70 US dollars. And this is more an expensive option, but you could put all your heavy suitcases and you don't have to lift much. But I recommend if you are sharing the taxi with other people, then that is a better recommendation. It helps split the cost. And then some apps you would need, there's 4 apps that I definitely recommend that you would need before you arrive in Korea. Naver Maps or Kakao Maps. I personally have Naver Maps. In my personal opinion, Kakao Maps is a little bit harder to navigate. I personally like Naver Maps, so there's Naver Maps. Bukacheck is basically an app where you can check the amount of money you have on your transportation card. So it's called T-Money card in Korea, and it's a transportation card. You can use it in the bus, subway, and you can even use it in the convenience store if you don't have your credit card with you. So it's just checking your balance. Yeah, it's really useful. I check my balance almost every day when I'm going out, and it's really simple and easy. KakaoTalk. KakaoTalk is a messaging app that almost all the Koreans use here, and it's really helpful, especially if you're in a group setting in a class, because almost everybody has KakaoTalk, so it's just easier to do group projects, stuff like that. It's really simple messaging app. Papago is a Korean like translation app. You can like scan it, or you can scan like a document or a page, and then it'll translate it to your specific language: English, French, Spanish, all the other languages. And you can scan it, you can voice record it, and it will translate it to your specific language. And this last app, it's not useful for Korea per se, but I personally use it. I use it a lot actually. It's called Units Plus. It's a currency app where you could see what the currency is in your home country. And then there's also, you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. I know some people in the US, like, we only use Fahrenheit, so it's easier to see, oh, what's 16 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. And then pounds to kilograms. It's just, it converts all the units to whatever unit that you use. So I find that really useful, and I would definitely recommend that for when you arrive in Korea. And then some other things you would need when you arrive to Korea per se is the KTA paper. So I know right now this year there's a lot of countries that are exempting it from doing the KTA, but I don't know if they're gonna still do that, or next year they're gonna resume the payment process. I think you pay around $10 to do the application. It takes around 15 to 20 minutes to do. So you just basically put your passport information, your flight information, everything on there. And then you print out the KTA print, and then you give it to the immigration office. And another thing is the QR code for health declaration. Since COVID days, that they did the QR code so that you could put your COVID vaccine information, stuff like that. They're not doing that anymore, so like they're still doing the paper thing where you could just fill out the paper in the airplane. But if you want to save time, then you could just do the QR code and you don't have to do the health declaration form. So if you just want a faster and easier process, I recommend doing the QR code. And then these ones are provided during the flight, but they'll give you the arrival card and the customs declaration card. You just fill that out in the airplane and you give it to the immigration people. So you would need that. And then if you're living in the dorms, you would need a TB test taken within 3 months. So in the States, you would do the skin test. If you get negative, then they give you a document. And if you are positive, you would need to take a chest x-ray, stuff like that. And then in Korea, they are very... So if you're living in dorms, you would need a TB test. If you're living in the Airbnb, you don't need a TB test. It's just in the dorms. And if you're a year student like me, you would need to take the TB test for fall semester and spring semester. You would need to take it. So here in Korea, there's 2 places that I took for my TB test. One of them is that you take a test and then you come back the next day to get your results. And then the place that I went to is a place where you go there, you do a chest, both of them you take a chest x-ray. So you go there and then it takes 5 minutes for the chest x-ray, and then you go and then you get your results immediately. That one costs about 15,000 won, so around $13. So it's really, really cheap just to get chest x-ray compared to the US. And this is without insurance too. It's like they didn't get my insurance information, and then it's cost like $13 just to get TB chest x-ray. So yeah, so I would recommend, if you're coming early to Korea for like a couple days, I would recommend you getting your TB test here instead of in the US. It's just cheaper and easier to do. So I would so these are the list of things I would recommend to bring from the States. One of them is bringing the prescription medicine. So it sometimes might be hard to find your specific medicine here in Korea, and then it might be because it's illegal to purchase it here, stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend just getting a bunch of like prescription medicine from your home country and just bring it over here. It just saves a lot of struggle and stress from getting it here. And another thing is vitamins. Vitamins are generally more expensive here, so definitely bringing more vitamins. And outlet adapters. So this is the one I have from the States. You can buy this on Amazon and stuff. So here's these ones. So they have different outlets from your home country, and over here they have like the EU like outlet thingy, the UK, US, Australian one, and then they even have the 3 USB outlets here. So it's really, really like, this one's really convenient. I love this one, and then it just fits into any of the plugs that I would need. And then of course there's like USB chargers, so you can plug in your phone also. So I love this one, and I got it from Amazon. And then towels. So for towels, I really like from the US the big bath towels. I love those. But in Korea, they don't have that big bath towels. They have like the small, like little handkerchief towels they use like as bath towels. So if you're the type of person like me who likes their big US bath towels, I would definitely bring that over. And then specific hair products, especially if your hair is curly or have different like texture hair, they don't have that in Korea, so bring those products. And deodorant is expensive and hard to find here. Like I think one deodorant could be like $10 here, like the one that you want, like the Western brand. Those ones are really expensive and hard to find, so definitely bring that bring that. And then clothing, so it depending on when you're coming, but even from that, one semester is basically 3 seasons. So if you're coming in the fall semester, you would need summer clothes, because if you're coming in August, September, it's still pretty hot. Fall clothes, and then winter clothes, because the fall semester ends at December 22. And then if you're coming over the spring semester starts March 1st, so when you're coming here February, March, it's still really cold. It's still winter, so you need winter clothes, spring clothes, and then summer, because school ends June 22, and it's really, really hot and humid here. So you need basically 3 seasons of clothes. And I can't stress this enough, make sure to pack light. Pack light. You're gonna buy lots of stuff and souvenirs. Especially if you're a K-pop fan like me, you're gonna buy albums, you're gonna buy PC cards, you're gonna buy merch, you're gonna buy skincare products, makeup, souvenirs, a lot of stuff. So pack light. Okay, pack light. And then items to purchase in Korea, so don't bring these from your back at home. Basic toiletries, you can buy this at Daiso, or you could buy it in Daiso. You can just, like shampoo, conditioner, you can buy that at Daiso. It also stationery stuff. Stationery you can buy in Daiso, Artbox, or other like local stores. So yeah, and then T-Money card. So T-Money card, like I said before, is a transportation card. You can use it you can use it in the bus, subway, even the convenience store. So I have this one. You can buy this T-Money card at a convenience store. You can buy an art box. You can buy also the K-pop store. So I bought my T-Money card. He's Park Young-sik. He's my favorite actor from Strong in the Wongsun, if you know that drama. And he's also a K-pop idol. But you can buy this at Myeongdong. Yeah, I bought this at 10,000 won, so $8. Around $8. So what you do is that you purchase this, but this one has no money inside, so you need to top it up at a convenience store or at a subway station. But you can only top it up with cash. You can't top it up with a credit card. So you need to have cash to put money inside, and when you're at the subway or a bus, you would need to tap in. So they have a little card reader, you tap in, and then once you leave the bus or the subway, like your destination, your subway station, you need to tap out with that same card. And one way, if you have the T-Money card, it's 1,200. It depends on how, like, the distance that you're going at. But basically one way is about 1,200, so less than $1, I think. I'm not too sure about the conversion rate, but it's pretty cheap, like transportation. And then SIM card, I recommend, if you're coming to Korea, I'm recommending it purchasing prepaid online or at the airport. So I personally purchased it online from Coupon. It's like basically a Korean website. But you would need your Korean phone number. I mean, you would need a Korean bank account in order to purchase stuff from Coupon. So I asked my aunt, and then she bought it over. But you can ask, like, if you have a Korean family or if you have Korean friends living here, you can ask them to buy it. And then either they could, you can pick it up at the airport, or they could just drop it off at your, like, place that you're staying at, and you could get your SIM card there. So my friends, my exchange friends, they recommend 친구 Mobile. It's a really foreigner friendly website. Like, you just have to provide your passport and I think your plane ticket. I'm not too sure about it. And they have a lot of like good deals, especially if you're staying there for like 2 months, 3 months. They have a really good deal, and then unlimited data. Or, excuse me, you could purchase it at the airport. I think the airport is a little bit expensive for SIM cards, and then they're only for like a small amount of time, like 10 days to 30 days. But I personally think just buy it online is just much easier, cheaper way to do it, and stuff like that. This is all I have in my notes section. So, yeah, that is all I have for my notes section. So if you have any questions down below in the comment section, please like comment down below. I'll try to answer it as much as I can. And I hope you will be able to find this video useful. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.